We love featuring artists you should know about on the show. And today we're heading to Nashville to chat with singer-songwriter Hayden Haddock. Hayden got started in college when his friends recorded him and put him on social media, and he hasn't stopped. A couple albums, constant touring. His latest single, He Talks to Mary, is out now. We're excited to have Hayden Haddock on the show. First, Hayden, thanks so much for coming on.
Hey, yeah, thank you very much for having me on. I appreciate it.
Wow, first of all, dude, you are one hardworking young man, so I appreciate that. He's trying everything he can to make it in this crazy country music life. But you grew up in Texas. You're at Texas A&M. Like your girlfriend or somebody wanted you to play a song. Your friends secretly record you, put it on social media. Were you mad? What were you thinking when you found out they put this on social media?
Yeah, no, I don't think I was necessarily mad. Probably more so than anything, I think I was embarrassed because, I didn't know if I was any good or not. And I can tell you now, I've heard that video a few times. I think my mom still has it on her phone or something like that. And it's not very good. Let's just say that. So, I'm glad it all panned out.
Yeah, because what was it? Because they said, well, he's a great guitar player, but you really never thought you'd be singing in front of anyone.
Yeah, no, not at all. I did not grow up, in a musical family like a lot of, singer-songwriters do. Nothing like that. And I was a kid, like, in 6th grade, we had to choose between band, choir, or orchestra. And I was told that choir was the easiest A, so I picked choir. And then I was a kid, like, in the recitals that just lip sync the whole time, was super nervous during the little tryouts you'd have to do for parts. And so, no, this was never in the agenda, to say the least.
Yeah, well, and you go to Texas A&M. What's your degree in?
Yes, I actually graduated back in December, but I graduated with a construction science degree, so nothing to do with music. But
oh, wow.
I figured it was a good backup plan in case I need it, but hopefully I never touch it.
Exactly. Hopefully it never goes into construction. Well, you've done a couple albums. First Rodeo, Red Dirt, Texas. You're working with producer Trent Willman. This guy's worked with Cody Johnson. How did you get hooked up with Trent?
Yeah, we got hooked up, probably 3.5 years ago, something like that. Actually by my publicist at the time who, was here in Nashville. And she had just called me one day. And, obviously I grew up, from the time I was probably 14, 15, became a huge Cody Johnson fan. And, been to plenty of concerts, obviously knew Trent's name just through hearing Cody in interviews and stuff. And she called me one day, my publicist, and said, hey, would you like to write with Trent Willman? And I'm like, the same Trent Willman, Cody Johnson's Trent Willman? And she's like, yep. And so we got in the writing room, and we wrote a song off my second record called Where You Come In. And right after we got done writing that, he asked if I had anybody producing my second record, and I said no, we're shopping around. And kind of the rest is history, and now he's managing me. And we have a great relationship. I owe a lot of what success I have had to Trent. He's really been a great mentor and taken me under his wing these last few years. So I've been very blessed and grateful for that.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, Red Dirt, Texas comes out in January of 2020. Probably the worst time possible to release an album, Hayden. What were you thinking?
Yeah, no, that's actually funny you said. I joke about that all the time at my shows if I ever talk about that album. And anyways, yeah, I don't know. We had it all planned out. And, I'm sure as much pre-promotion and money that is spent into stuff to build up a record or a release. There's not really any shutting it off and picking a new date. So we just had to roll with it. And, of course, just like the rest of the world, we thought we were going to be stuck at home for, a couple weeks or a month or something. And then it turned into trying to promote a 10-song, album into trying to promote it over social media and online. And luckily we have the technology that we do nowadays, and we were able to do a lot of the, Zoom concerts and Facebook Lives and do things with, radio stations and all kinds of that stuff. So it ended up panning out all right. But yeah, that was definitely a tough time because obviously the number one way to promote a record is probably by getting out and playing it live. And we were not able to do that. But like I said, luckily that record ended up doing pretty well for us. And we had quite a few, great songs on there that really helped, kind of push my career a little bit further along. So it worked out.
Yeah, go and support him. Go and stream it. Red Dirt, Texas, and First Rodeo is his other album. And he's also got, I think, 3 or 4 singles this year. Hayden Haddock, he's at HaydenHaddock.com. He's on Facebook, Instagram, X. Go to Spotify. His latest single, He Sings for Mary, is out now. You're going to hear it here in a second. Because you're a touring guy, and to not be able to tour behind that had to just crush you. How long were you at home?
Oh, man. I'm trying to remember, honestly. It seems like forever ago now. It was at least 6 months or 8 months, maybe a year. It was somewhere in there, but I know, we were some of the first people, and obviously Texas being one of the first states that kind of started reopening things. We had this venue that actually I sing about in my song Red Dirt, Texas, called Bare Bones Barbecue, and they're one of the places in Gatesville, Texas, that really helped give me my start back when I first started just playing, the guitar and singing, just doing acoustic shows all the time. And they were one of the first venues to kind of open back up and say, hey, all right, we're done with this whole thing. We've sat at home long enough. It's time for a concert. And so it was actually, we went out and opened for Randall King. And I think we were one of the first shows back in Texas. So that was a pretty cool deal, and that sucker was packed. You could tell that people were ready to get out of the house. I think there was about 700 people there that night, and probably a 500 cap venue. So it was quite the time.
Yeah, people were ready to get back out of the house. Well, you were just in the studio laying down tracks. Are we sticking with singles? What's happening?
Yeah, I think that is the plan for now. I think we're going to stick with singles, potentially some little 2 or 3 song EPs. But we have a ton of songs kind of just in the bank right now. As you said, we just finished up vocals on the last handful of them, and we're still writing and still taking listens to some outside songs. So just trying to keep new music coming in. That way we can get it out to you guys. And so our plan for 2024 is basically just to have a constant stream of new music. Again, whether that's singles or little EPs or something like that. But pretty much every couple months we plan to release a new song, and so I think we're talking about releasing the next one sometime in late January, February, somewhere in there. And the next one I'm very excited about, so I think everybody's going to love it. So definitely stay tuned for that.
Yeah, no, they keep getting better, every one, Hayden. If you go check him out, Hayden Haddock Music on Instagram. You love to cook. You had a beef stew. Now this week you've got, something on the griddle. What's with this, Hayden? You like what's going on?
Man, I don't know. I grew up, my dad was always a really good cook growing up. And so was my mom, but my dad more so doing stuff on the grill and all that. So I think that kind of rubbed off on me. And then I don't know when it was. I guess when I got to college, I, got my first little grill, started doing that. And then my brother and then everybody always got, and my dad were always into, barbecuing, smoking briskets and pork butts and all that stuff. And then I got hooked up with Traeger grills, and they had sent me a smoker. I know some people say it's cheating with the pellets. I get it, but it was free, so we're going to use it. But anyway, so I got really into, barbecuing, and then, yeah, my girlfriend just got me as an early Christmas gift, got me that Blackstone griddle that I've been wanting for like 3 years. So now we've been pretty much cooking everything on that. We cooked chicken wings on it last night. That turned out pretty good. So, but yeah, we cook all the time. She's more of the inside cook. She's my Cajun girlfriend, so she can cook gumbo and red beans and rice and pretty much everything very well. And then I'm more of the outside cook. Neither of them go together to make for losing weight very easy. So after we get off the phone, I'm headed to the gym. It's balanced, He's
got to go work out to keep the food off. But yeah, the Blackstone griddle, that thing looks sweet. The beef fajitas. Did you cook the chicken wings on that?
Yeah, we did. I didn't know how it was going to pan out, but now what me and her have been doing is just getting on TikTok and just type in Blackstone griddle recipes and just see what we can find. And people swore by the chicken wings, and I'll tell you, they actually came out good and crispy. So that's the way to do it from now on.
Yeah, for sure. You love Whataburger. When was the last time you ate at Whataburger?
Oh, not too long ago, actually. We stopped there, I'd say a couple weeks ago, probably 2 or 3 weeks ago. I get to get it every now and then. I never, every time I fly in and out of the airport, there's one in the DFW airport, but that line is always insane. So I never do that. But luckily the guys late at night, if we're leaving a show late, after loading out, that's usually one of the very few restaurants that is open in Texas that you're almost, destined to pass. So we'll typically pull into one. So I still get my fix every now and then.
Yeah, for sure. We need a Whataburger out here. We're missing out. It's good stuff. Go and check him out. Hayden Haddock. He's at HaydenHaddock.com. He's Hayden Haddock Music on Facebook and Instagram. His latest single, He Sings for Mary, is out now. Cash Your Dog. I imagine this is after Johnny Cash, or where'd you get it?
Yeah, it's after Johnny Cash. Man, you're killing it with these interview questions, I will say. You might have the best questions I've ever, out of all these interviews I've done over all these years. So props to you.
Well,
but yes, I believe it was after Johnny Cash.
I mean, you take Cash everywhere.
Yeah, we try to take him as many places as we can. He's a really good dog, and he's been a big blessing for us. And he keeps my girlfriend company when I'm gone off the road. So they're about as best friends as they come. And he's a really good dog, and he of course loves to be around everybody, and everybody that we bring him around always asks us if they can take him home, and we're like, nope. So,
well, that's a good dog right there, Hayden. When somebody else wants to do, I love some of your car videos. He's just hanging out in the back seat, just chilling out, looking out the window.
Yeah, he's normally pretty good. He sometimes doesn't like the car rides, but he's getting better. He's not even 3 yet, so he's still learning.
Yeah. You grew up around the Dallas-Fort Worth area. You have to be loving life right now because your Dallas Cowboys are doing very good.
Hey, we are doing well. I will say I had my doubts at the beginning of the season, and I'm not always the biggest Dak Prescott fan, but I will say he's swaying me a little bit. He's playing well, and hopefully we can keep it up. That's the only thing. That's normally where we struggle, is we'll make it to the playoffs, and then about that first round, it always seems to dwindle away. So hopefully we can change that.
Yeah, hopefully they can keep it going. They always fade at the end of the year.
Yeah, maybe the Texas Rangers got it done, so maybe some of their luck will carry over.
There you go. That's good thinking. Your sleeve tattoo. This thing's been a work in progress.
Yeah.
I mean, how long did it take? A year or two? How long has this been going?
Man, I got the half sleeve done, probably 3 years ago, something like that. And I let that sit for, 6 months or 8 months. And I wasn't, I wasn't sure if I was going to keep going down or not. And then and keep in mind, my family, other than my brothers, do not like tattoos at all. And so, anyways, and my oldest brother, who was in the military, he's had a full sleeve for a while, and that was very frowned upon for a little bit. And then my second oldest brother went and got a full sleeve, and so I said, well, screw it. I guess nobody's getting disowned, so I'm going to go finish it. And anyways, so I did a big Texas theme up top, and then kind of down on my forearm and everything. I've got the headstock of my guitar, my favorite guitar, and then I've got some piano keys and like an old school microphone, and I've got my logo tattooed in there somewhere, some music notes, and but then I've also got a bunch of other miscellaneous tattoos, and I've got 2 big chest pieces done. I've got a lot more tattoos than people probably think. Yeah.
Man, yeah, he's covered in ink. Go and check out some pictures because the sleeve tattoo looks pretty sweet. And yeah, you do have a ton of stuff involved in that thing, so that's pretty cool. I saw you do an interview. I was listening to one, and you were saying that your dream is to get to Red Rocks. Have you been to Red Rocks?
I have not been there. I would love to go. But I'm also one of those people that some of these places I just say I'm not going to go until I'm playing it.
Yeah.
It might be kind of a selfish thing. Maybe not. I don't know. But we'll see, because I said that about the Opry here in Nashville. But then our buddy Roger Krager made his debut the other night. And we had a bunch of, friends going. And so they kept wanting us to go. And I was like, all right, we'll do it. Now I'm glad I went. So we'll see what happens with Red Rocks. But, yeah, that is definitely probably top of the list of places I want to play, and then obviously the Opry and the Ryman and all that. But
yeah, well, that's cool though. I like that point of view that I'm not going until I'm playing there.
Yeah, I can't remember who I got that from. There was some other artist that did that for a lot of places, and now I'm blanking on who it was, but I had heard that, and I thought that, same thing. I thought that was a pretty cool, kind of philosophy on it.
Yeah. How is it touring? Because, I mean, you tour all over. I think you were in Nebraska a week or two back, or not too long ago. What's the response from everybody when you're going to all these places that, half the people don't know who you are?
Yeah, typically, 95% of the time, it's pretty good. I like to think, we've got some good songs, and hopefully I can, halfway decent sing. And I've got a really good band, so everything we play, I think it comes out sounding very similar to the record. I've got some great musicians in my band, much better musicians than I am, so I just rely on them the whole time. But like you said, we were just in Nebraska a couple weeks ago. We were in Elk City, Oklahoma before that, and then, like me and you were talking about earlier, we're in Nashville tonight, and then Memphis tomorrow. And but yeah, typically it always pans out. I think everybody always loves it, especially the more north we get. The fact that we play, I guess what you'd call the more traditional side of country music, or real country music, as we were told in Nebraska, that a lot of people don't get a lot. I guess the more north you get, and so it always seems to pan out. And and there's great venues all around the country that we're hoping to get to, and that's our goal in 2024, is to keep expanding the touring and broaden the horizons and just get further out. So hopefully it continues to go well.
He's playing all over the place. Go and check out his website, HaydenHaddock.com. You can check out his dates, and I'd imagine you just crush it in like Nebraska and Oklahoma. They probably love you, Hayden. I mean, you do crazy in Wyoming, but. You mentioned Memphis tomorrow night. It's your first time ever in Memphis.
That is. I think we've been through there. I think we actually overnighted in Memphis before. I don't remember it, but my band swears we did. But, yes, it'll be our first time playing there. We're playing at this place called Hernando's Hideaway. I think it's a newer venue that's doing very well, and so we're excited to be there. Tickets are online on my website, or I've been posting the ticket link on my Instagram and Facebook stories. And so, come see us in Memphis, Tennessee tomorrow night.
Yeah, for sure. He sings for Mary. Tell us about the song, Hayden.
Yeah, this song, man, it was one, I didn't write this song. And so Trent, a few times a week, he'll send me songs that we call them outside songs that, obviously we didn't write, but that are being pitched to an artist. And so he'll send me a few, and I'd say 50-50. Sometimes there's something you think you might cut, and sometimes you hear the first few words and you're like, no, that's not me. And He Sings for Mary's one of those. About 10 seconds into it, I was like, yep, I want this song. And so luckily I got it. And I think the main reason was, it was something different than what we've been releasing over the years, and I think what people are used to me releasing, which is a lot of kind of mid-tempo, up-tempo, kind of party, drinking, hanging out with your buddies type songs. And obviously this is quite the opposite. This is more of a ballady love song. But, mainly I love the message behind it, which obviously this is written from a musician's perspective, or somebody on the road. And, just saying that basically the reason he does it is the lady he's got waiting for him at home, which is, I think, a lot of what musicians definitely, think and go through. That's who kind of keeps your dream alive, as it says in the song. But what I also love about it is you can also, even though it's written from a musician's standpoint, you can take this, and anybody who's on the road or who's gone can relate to this. So whether you're military, firefighter, police officer, a lineman, what pipeline, or this song can be very relatable. So that was the main reason that I really wanted to cut this song, and I'm glad we did.
Yeah, we're going to hear it here in just a second. What are you doing for Christmas? You heading back to Dallas? Where are you going?
We are headed. I've actually I'm going to fly to Dallas on the 22nd, and then we play actually in Oklahoma and Broken Bow at a place called Hochatown Saloon. It's one of our favorite places to play. We're going to play there on the 22nd. And then we'll drive from there back to the Dallas area, which luckily isn't far, and spend that whole next week up there with family, doing the whole Christmas shindig, and then right back on the road the 27th, 28th, and 28th, 29th, and 30th.
Yeah.
So it doesn't stop.
No, the machine does not stop. That's for sure. Go and check him out. Go see him where you can. HaydenHaddock.com. Here's his brand new single, He Sings for Mary. Hayden, thanks so much for coming on.
Hey, yeah, absolutely. It was a pleasure.
Hayden Haddock. It's He Sings for Mary. It's KIX 96.5.